Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Warriors miss huge playoff opportunity after controversial Draymond Green call. The Golden State Warriors have missed a huge opportunity to grab outright hold of the fourth seed in the Western Conference, having had their 5-game winning streak snapped in a 106-96 loss to the Houston Rockets at Chase Center on Sunday. In what was a hard-fought game for the majority, the pivotal play may have come early in the third quarter when Draymond Green was controversially adjudged a flagrant foul on a made layup where he collected Alperen Sengun in the face. Not only did it wipe away a basket, but it was Green's fifth personal foul which forced the veteran forward out of the game for the rest of the third quarter. The Warriors were fighting uphill from that point on, with Houston's defense on Jimmy Butler and particularly Stephen Curry proving too much for the hosts to overcome. The 2x-MVP had entered with an extraordinary 125 points over his last 3 games, but the elite Rockets defense wasn't about to let that continue on Sunday. Curry went from being red-hot to one of his worst games of the season, finishing with just 3 points on 1 of 10 shooting including 1 of 8 from three-point range. Butler was also quiet with just 7 field goal attempts and 13 points to go with 5 rebounds and 3 assists, with the visitors clearly focused on making other Warrior players beat them in a tactic that ultimately worked to perfection. Buddy Hield did get going with 6 threes and a team-high 20 points, while Brandon Podziemski continued his excellent form with 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. The Rockets were clearly happy to let those guys generate scoring though, with Gary Payton too also scoring 16 points off the bench. Despite all the offensive struggles and Green's foul issues, Golden State did pull within 2 early in the fourth quarter. They'll come back to rue some missed open three-point opportunities during that period, having shot less than 42% from the floor for the game. Curry, Green and Podziemski also combined for 12 of the team's 20 turnovers, while the Rockets took advantage of their extra size on the glass with 15 offensive rebounds. Dillon Brooks had 24 points on a super-efficient 10 of 13 shooting, while Sengun added a 19-point, 14-rebound double-double. The Warriors are now one of 5 teams with 32 losses in what's an historically close Western Conference playoff race, with a visit to Phoenix to face the Suns at Footprint Center coming on Tuesday. Warriors face crunch time in playoff race, with just 4 games left in regular season. Your Golden State Warriors are practically locked in a 6-way tie in the playoff seeding with 4 games left, and could land in the playoffs with home court advantage through the conference semifinals, or could find themselves stuck in a play-in game. After the Golden State Warriors' 106-96 loss to the Houston Rockets Sunday, head coach Steve Kerr remarked to reporters after the game that we ran into a hot team that played a great game, and you've got to just quickly move on. So I'm gonna go home and watch The White Lotus. Chronicle beat writer and Killian uses this as an analogy to stress that the Warriors' final 4 regular season games this week are must-see TV, but really, 6 different teams' games will be must-see TV, as the Warriors could easily end up the Western Conference's number 3 seed, or a play-in hopeful as the conference's number 8 seed. For maximum television drama, let's let ESPN's Brian Windhorst explain it. As we see, the Warriors started Sunday morning in the number 5 seed in the West. They moved up to number 4 briefly Sunday before the Houston loss. But because of the results between 6 teams almost tied in the standings, they finished Sunday all the way down at number 6. And the Warriors currently have the same record as 4 other teams in the same playoff race, which makes the final 4 games of the season crucial. The Warriors could still theoretically end up as the number 3 seed with guaranteed home court advantage through the Western Conference semifinals, possibly beyond if the chips fall right. Or they could end up in a play-in game, which did not end well for them last year. Here are the Warriors' final 4 regular season games between now and Sunday afternoon, and which ones will be on national TV. All others will be on NBC Sports Bay Area, if you have that. Warriors trade proposal reunites Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry this summer. It's safe to say that the Phoenix Suns are one of the most disappointing teams in the NBA today. Despite having the highest payroll in the NBA for the 2024-25 season, the team is only at the 11th seed, as they're more likely to miss the playoffs. To make matters much worse, they might not even secure a spot at the play-in tournament. It's evident that the big three of Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal isn't working. Things escalated further to toxicity when the front office tried to dangle Beal and Durant at the trade deadline. With another failed playoff campaign on the horizon, the franchise might be better off breaking up the core by starting with letting go of Durant. With the two-time NBA Finals MVP expected to make a move in the offseason, an ideal destination for him would be to rejoin the Golden State Warriors and reunite with Stephen Curry. At the trade deadline, Durant was refused that reunion. However, that could change when the offseason rolls by. Warriors receive, Kevin Durant. Suns receive, Draymond Green, Gary Payton II, Buddy Hield, Kevin Looney, 2026 first-round draft pick, 2028 first-round draft pick, 2030 first-round draft pick, 2031 second-round draft pick, and 2031 second-round draft pick. Given that the Suns are a second-apron team, the team doesn't exactly have much flexibility. This also makes it hard for the Warriors to make a package for Durant. However, it isn't impossible. To make it work, the Warriors can construct a package headlined by former NBA Defensive Player of the Year Draymond Green to go along with 3 first-round picks and a pair of second-round draft picks. NBA veterans Gary Payton II, Buddy Hield, and Kevin Looney round out the package. While it would certainly be a heartbreaker for the Golden State fanbase to see the franchise part ways with Green, who has been the heart and soul of the team since its emergence as a dynasty, sacrifices must be made in order to maximize Curry's title window, especially when another superstar like Durant becomes available. In fact, the departure of Klay Thompson during the 2024 offseason already signaled the Warriors' willingness to break up its original core. Since leaving Golden State in 2019, Durant has been struggling to regain championship glory. He has suffered a string of early playoff exits with the Brooklyn Nets before continuing his drought in Phoenix. It wouldn't be surprising if Durant finally decides to return to the franchise where he won both of his championships and Finals MVPs. There's no question, Curry's window is closing fast. While the addition of Jimmy Butler at the trade deadline might have made life easier for the best shooter in the world, it remains to be seen whether this duo can win a championship in just a short amount of time together. As a result, should the Warriors fail to win a championship this year, it would make sense for the team to pursue a reunion with Durant. Coincidentally, aside from pursuing Butler at the deadline, Golden State also made an attempt to reacquire their former two-time NBA Finals MVP. However, trade discussions fell through when the Suns' star refused to be traded at the deadline. But with the Suns more likely to miss the playoffs, Durant's intention to leave Phoenix is going stronger, paving the way for materializing his return to the Bay Area. Durant's return to the Warriors will be a huge shot in the arm. He's already familiar with Kerr's system and has proven that he could thrive in it. A Durant-Curry partnership was nearly unstoppable from 2016 to 2019, winning back-to-back NBA championships in 3 consecutive finals appearances. Although both players have aged, a team-up could work both ways to preserve their championship chances. In addition to this, the presence of an elite slasher like Butler should make their lives easier offensively. But more importantly, aside from getting Durant, the Warriors will find a way to get another superstar without giving up any of their current building blocks in Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, or Brandon Podziemski. Although giving up 3 first-round draft picks would be a huge blow to their draft capital, the franchise would still have young players to work with in ushering a future without Curry. And you, fan? What do you think about Kevin Durant's situation? Write to us in the comments.